Fly over the eastern Indian state of Odisha, and you'll eventually hit a body of water so massive it appears to be an ocean. It covers over 133,000 square kilometers, a footprint that dwarfs entire countries and takes up more than twice the area of Sri Lanka. This vast expanse is Asia's largest artificial lake, held back by a continuous wall of earth and concrete stretching 25.8 kilometers across the landscape. This is the Hirakud Dam, the longest earthen dam in the world, built to intercept and tame the violent, erratic flows of the Mahanadi River. When formally inaugurated in 1957, India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, looked at the concrete and steel and declared projects like this to be the temples of modern India. Today, those structures generate hundreds of megawatts of hydroelectric power and provide the irrigation that turned Odisha into the agricultural heartland, or rice bowl, of the region. The project created two entirely distinct worlds: a thriving, modern paradise above the surface and an erased civilization trapped below it. On the surface, the reservoir has become a hub for tourism and human interaction. Visitors climb the Gandhi and Nehru Minar observation towers for these sunset views, where the golden light stretches uninterrupted across an artificial sea. The sheer volume of water sitting in this basin birthed entirely new ecosystems along its banks, most notably the Debrigard Wildlife Sanctuary. The sanctuary is now a designated tiger reserve and a vital Ramsar wetland, a status given to wetlands of international importance, serving as a winter haven for hundreds of thousands of migratory birds. It even created the biological curiosity of Cattle Island. When the valley was flooded, domestic cows were left behind on a hilltop. Over 70 years of isolation, they evolved into a unique, massive breed of wild cattle, living entirely cut off from the mainland. This upper world represents a victory over erratic nature, where a volatile river basin was engineered into a controlled, thriving ecological oasis. Maintaining that oasis requires a seasonal pivot. Every year, the brutal Indian summer forces the rapid draining of the reservoir to meet the region's need for irrigation and power. As the water level drops by dozens of feet, the surface tension breaks, and the cracked, muddy lakebed is exposed to the air. That receding water reflects the conditions of 1937, when the Mahanadi River was notorious for catastrophic floods that regularly devastated the downstream coastal deltas. This topographical map shows the engineering logic applied to stop those floods. Engineers identified specific contour lines, marked here at elevations 240 and 340, that formed a natural bowl capable of containing the river's highest flood peaks. Utilizing this basin required the intentional, permanent submergence of over 325 existing villages inside that bowl. More than 150,000 people were uprooted. They lost their ancestral lands, their forests, and their homes, becoming ousties to make way for the reservoir. When the summer waters recede today, the remains of an erased world rise from the mud. Ancient temples from the submerged cultural center of Padmapur break the surface, their stone spires standing in the dry lakebed. Those ghostly spires are reminders of a harsh historical transaction, where modern security and electricity were purchased by drowning an ancestral civilization. Standing at the base of the Hirakud Dam, looking up at millions of tons of raw concrete and rebar, you see a structure that balances creation and destruction. This chart shows the scale of that trade-off. On one side, over 264,000 hectares of land are successfully irrigated. On the other, 183,000 acres of fertile ancestral land were permanently drowned. The fallout of that trade continues into the present day. Thousands of displaced families are still engaged in legal battles for the compensation and land titles they were promised when the water first rose. Hirakud is a living time capsule where modern ecology, record-breaking engineering, and an erased human history are forced to coexist within a single body of water. Whether tracking a tiger on the banks, standing over the roar of the spillways, or spotting a sunken temple in the summer mud, the dam stands as a symbol of human ambition and the profound hidden costs of progress.